That would be nice.
Studio scale Gagarin class. That would be cool.
Real scale.
Yeah, studio
Dude,
scale would be anywhere from 3 feet to 6 feet.
that's good. You can keep
So
it.
I mean, it depends. It depends on, you know.
I have no room for my little
So
bits like that. Nothing. That ain't gonna work here.
we are.
I could do 6 inches to maybe a foot. I still got my Salomon class downstairs and
Yeah.
my little inch model that I bought. Or
Do you still have the Genesis torpedo that I made you?
yeah, but it doesn't work anymore. I mean, shortly after you fixed it or something, I guess the battery. I don't even know how to take out. I guess the
Um,
battery died on it or something. It was shortly after you gave it back to me. It was working for a while, a brief time, and then it stopped working. I
okay.
still have it, but
I'm gonna have to I guess I have to give that an upgrade too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
Hey,
have
make it a quantum torpedo.
we have a sponsor at Tenant Controls, so I can, you know, I could usually get the board from Ralph. He makes all right, so Tenant Controls, if you go to tenantcontrols.com, they make like these lighting boards for like starships. Like if you're going to build like a starship model,
Yeah.
he makes the lighting board. So he actually programs the board. It's all transistorized. It's, you know, like all micro transistorized, and then he also makes lighting kits for different models. So he'll make a like a lighting kit for say like the Sea View from Voyage Beyond the Sea, the Flying Sub, whatever. And he also makes he'll make a lighting kit for say like the Galaxy class, or like the Constitution refit or whatever. So
Do you have a
there
lot
are
of
yeah,
do you have a lot of paid sponsors or just a few, or what do you have? What's your budget like? What's
well,
your
we have two. We have was it we
two?
have Tenant Controls, and we have AAA Hobbies in Magnolia, New Jersey. So we are live on. Gilbert said he's going to be a little late. He's actually the one who actually did so.
Okay.
Let's see.
So is
He
this going to
got
be a
me.
podcast, just YouTube, or what platform? You mentioned all
We
this.
use a platform called Streamlabs. So Streamlabs basically, we will be on YouTube. We will be on Twitch. We will be on.
Are we live now? We're not live yet, right? Or are we
Um, we
anything?
are we
We're
are live on
recording.
YouTube right now. So
Okay.
watch what you say.
You didn't say anything. You didn't say we're
I'm
live
sorry. No,
now.
I'm just looking. I'm looking at the
That's fine.
chat. We're not live on the radio yet. We have to wait until we're live on the
If you want to
radio.
introduce who I am, so people will say,
Yes,
"Who's?"
I will do that. You have to stop being Chris Hunter and let me talk, and then I can introduce you.
I'll never be like that.
I
Believe me. You don't know
I
me that
love
well. You know
I
me.
love Chris. No, I love Chris to death. He's a terrific guy, but when he gets going, man, it's like you just can't do it, man.
Worse than you, huh?
Oh yeah, worse than me.
Okay. Because you got people watching this maybe and say, who's he talking to?
Who's this guy? Who's this strange guy?
And what's that background he's got in the back there? You
What?
recognize it? You recognize the background?
I'm looking at the
Good.
background.
Look at my background. That's not my office. I'll tell you that. I'll give right
I
now.
yeah, I know that's not your office because
I
your
wish it was.
your
What is
your
that?
office is not that clean, dude.
I'm not that large. I don't have that much square feet
Not
in
that
my
large
office.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a two-story office too, as I can tell.
What is that background?
What is
I'm
that
trying.
background? I'm sure somebody from your audience asked your YouTube. Well, can you see the comments in your YouTube audience? Maybe somebody there would know. Look at your YouTube audience comments and
I'm trying to. Is it from a movie?
from
Oh,
where?
there's James.
Hey, sorry about that. Having Zoom issues. I
Well, you
might.
should have called the help desk, which is
Ah,
non-existent.
I don't need no help desk. I don't need no stinking help desk. I am the help desk.
Gilbert and I used to do help desk. We used to do a show called the help desk. So, all right. So
Should do
it
the swap shop.
is. I have 202. I'm gonna start. So, well, we're not live on the radio yet, but we will be, I guess, when
We're
okay.
live on YouTube.
What?
You said
Well,
we're
yeah,
live on-
we are. Yeah. All right. All right. So we are live on YouTube. So, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Model Citizen. I'm your host, George Dare. We are live right now on YouTube. We are also live on Twitch. We are live on TikTok, I believe. The angriest of IT nerds is here, but he's probably taking care of one of his four-legged little turds at the moment, and he will be on with us shortly. We also have Printmaster James is here, James Lechner. Today is your birthday. Happy
Yes,
birthday, sir.
Happy breakaway day too.
I'm sorry?
It's breakaway day too.
I was also going to mention that it is
Yeah.
breakaway day. September 13th, 1999 was when the moon ripped out of orbit and caused the political situation in Washington. No, I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
and basically, destroying that. Our episode of Model Citizen is brought to you by our two sponsors. Oh, there he is. Is
how's
brought to you
everybody
by AAA Hobbies in Magnolia, New Jersey. They do have a web. If you cannot get to their store in Magnolia, New Jersey, they do have a website called megahobby.com. So go to megahobby.com. You can get all of the model kits that you could find in their store. They also have a brick and mortar store. They do remote control cars. They do plastic model kits, model rocketry, I believe. So they do a lot of arts and crafts stuff. They're really great. And then our other sponsor is Tenna Controls. Tenna Controls, bringing models to light. They are the makers of electronic lighting kits and lighting boards for models, preferably for science fiction models, but you can get them basically for any type of model. If there is a model that you have that you want to light up, and they have like 77, I believe, products on their website. If there is a lighting kit that you need and they do not carry it, I'm sure that Ralph Tenaglia, who is the owner and operator of Tenna Controls, can make up the board special for you, and he'll give you a price, and then he'll just send it to you, and you'll have it. So with that, I also wanted to. I had introduced James, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, James. It's also the angriest of IT nerds, and I know why he's angry, because he has a four-legged little turd. Who probably kept him from, from getting on the show at 2:00. And are we live on the radio right now?
Yes, we are. We're live.
We are live on
radio
radio.
and
Okay.
on YouTube everywhere. Yep.
And on YouTube, and streamingly exclusively on our GCPR YouTube channel. I would also like to introduce our special guest today, Mr. Mike Stein, from the North Jersey Star Trek Club. Now, is that okay? Wait a minute. Is that in Morris County? That's Morris County, isn't it?
It was started in Morris County.
It started in Morris County.
It's a Morris. Actually, we cover northern New Jersey.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're the Northern New Jersey chapter called Forces Justice, which is a chapter of Starfleet, the International Star Trek Fan Association, Inc. But our area covers northern New Jersey, not
Okay.
just Morris County.
Well, that's where I'm at. So I'm in Ridgewood.
You're in Ridgewood, okay.
Yeah.
My wife is from Ridgewood, but anyway.
Yeah, I met them. I met Mike. The name of his ship is the USS Justice. It's a different registry number than. Well, it's basically the same registry number, except it has an A after it, and I think I joined when it was a Saladin class destroyer cruiser. We only had one engine, but we had a lot of hope. And then I met Mike. When did I meet you? In '96. I think I
No,
joined.
you
I
were you
joined the
were on
Justice in
board.
'95.
No, you were on board before me. You joined. You were a
Yeah.
member before me. I joined in April '95.
Okay.
Um, so I was it April, around April, May of '95 because you were already on board by then. Before
Okay.
me,
So
you preceded me on board the
it
ship.
had to be '94 then that I joined.
Yeah, you joined about the time that the ship was, or a shuttle, as I called it, was launched.
Right.
Shortly thereafter, you weren't part. I don't believe you were part of the original shuttle crew that launched the ship, right?
So yeah. What we were discussing is you have to become a shuttle before you can become a ship in Starfleet. So, how many
That's right.
members? So, all right. So how many members to a shuttle? How many members to a ship?
Well, there's at least minimum of 10 members for a ship. I believe you need at least five for a shuttle. I don't think they may have changed the names of that. The whole process has been changed quite a bit in the past few years, but it's a minimum of 10 members for a ship.
Okay.
Okay, so you really should have between 5 and 10 members before you're starting something. There's more details on sfi.org if people want to look into that, starting a chapter or starting something. Go to sfi.org. There's a lot more information there about that and getting involved with the largest Star Trek and largest sci-fi organization worldwide.
Okay. Yeah.
One way to put it.
I remember. I had joined. I think I joined under engineering when I first came in, and then I transferred. I transferred to the Marines when there was a Marine contingent on board the ship.
Right, we still have
So there
that.
were, yeah. So you have like Marines. So
Yeah.
I still have my department jacket. It still doesn't fit me, but I still have my department jacket. So
Got 10 Marines on the 86th Starfleet Marine Group,
right,
Marine Strike Group. They call it an MSG, Marine Strike Group.
right. So so your chapter is involved in many all right. So the first question I have for every guest is, who are you and how'd you get here? So who is Mike Stein and how did you get here? And don't say George just gave me the link and I just wandered into the thing. And so,
No, no. I got involved back in, or I think it was January, February, at the Morris County Library in New Jersey. You were running an event when I first met you there, as a matter of fact. It was a Star Trek Federation exhibit that was going around the country. It was a science exhibit going around the country. And Region 7, which your USS Justice, which is a member of, it was a regional event. There were many ships, a few ships there, and you were there representing the USS Justice. There were a few other people there as well from other chapters. And I spoke with you, and you were showing me around some different exhibits and different, how do you call it, like areas or so,
mhm.
what you could interact with. It was an interactive Star Trek exhibit that was going around the country, and it just happened to be the Morris County Library. And I read about this in the Star Ledger at the time. I said, okay, this was, like I said, in '95. I think it was January or February. I think it was February '95 that this event occurred. So
Mhm.
I read about it maybe a week or a couple weeks before. I said, "Oh, this looks interesting. Star Trek. I always watch Star Trek. I'll check this out." It was a Saturday, and I checked it out, and I believe I met you there. Talked to you quite a bit. You showed me different things, and so this is also interesting. I also met another person there, Admiral Alex Rosenzweig. He was there as well. I remember him, and a couple of other people. I don't remember their names at the time. And so I got some information. You had some handouts or so. And I figured, oh, I'll take a look at this. I took it home with me. I mean, it wasn't, this was pretty interesting. And then it wasn't until around April, I sent it in. I think I mailed it in at the time. And then I was contacted by, I don't remember who, on the chapter. And I was invited to a chapter meeting, which was being held in Maplewood at the time.
Yep.
And I was living in Hamburg then, which, I grew up in the Velsburg section of Newark, and I was familiar with Maplewood. I went to Seton Hall, by the way. I'm a graduate from Seton Hall University. So I was familiar with the area, South Orange, Maplewood. I know the area and familiar with it. So I was like, okay, that's not bad. I could check that out. And so I went to a meeting and met the crew that was there at the time. And I joined the operations section. I think his name was Brian Smith. He's still in Starfleet on another ship called the USS Challenger in South Jersey.
Mhm.
And so I met him there, and I joined his section, and I kept coming to a few meetings or so, and was actively participating in with things. And you were there too, and and we spoke a lot and a lot of different things. So, and I don't know if you wanted me to keep on going, but
Yeah, keep on going.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. So basically, what I kept going, and eventually Brian made me vice chief of operations. There was a few people on it, but being that I was most active, he made me his vice chief, which was within about a couple of months or so. I was being active. I also I participated and ran the first ship picnic at the time, a section picnic. This was 30 years ago. Matter of fact, we just celebrated the 30th anniversary of that
oh,
event, which I told everybody about. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you. I don't remember there. It was we had like 5 or 6 people. It was it was June of '95,
mhm.
and we were at Lake Parsippany Park.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah, Lake
year,
Parsippany Park.
it
Yeah.
was the year before they built the shelter. So we're there on the hottest day in June. It was like 100, between 103 and 105 with no shelter on a concrete ground. Okay. Okay. That was our first ship picnic. I invited my wife to, and she came and she did the cooking, when I came home after our ship picnic this past August, I told her about it, and she was still mad about it because I made her. I forgot this part. I made her do the cooking on that day, and I forgot. Oh, there was one part I forgot about that from 30 years ago, and she remembered that quite vividly. And she hasn't been to another ship picnic since. So that was interesting. It was one detail that I missed about. So that was 30 years ago, and eventually,
30 years. Wow.
yeah, so that was 30 years ago. And then eventually Brian left, and then I moved became the section chief. There was a number of sections on the ship. Operations was one of them, science, engineering, medical, and there was another department, like as you mentioned, the Starfleet Marines, the 86th. I think we called it the Inquisitors, or you came up with that name. I'm not sure. Um,
I think it was Dan. I think Dan came up with Inquisitors.
Yeah, yeah. The first commanding officer was General Ed Tunis,
Right.
who he lives in, I think, Louisiana now. That's where he was now, and he was the first commanding officer when I joined.
Hmm.
He was one of the founding members of it. And he lives in Louisiana. Um, so basically, I continued and moved up, participated, did a lot of different things. I don't think it was till the year 2000 or 2001 I made the rank of captain. Um,
Was two.
shortly,
I thought was it 2000? Yeah, it
or
was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was 2000. You made the rank of captain because I
made the rank of
was
captain.
because I was at that shore leave. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
shore
yeah.
leave.
Yeah, it would tell you it was one of the happiest moments of my life making I made captain because I figured, oh, when I make captain in Starfleet, about 10. I gave it thought about 10 years and I didn't have the time. Okay, that was really decent. That was pretty good. Being that I was quite active or so, and then a few years passed by, still being active or so and doing different things. And then in '05, there was an opening on the regional level to become the regional financial officer. And I asked Ed, well, if I had to be nominated, if he would please nominate me. And after going back a few times or so, Ed nominated me to be the regional financial officer. So I got
Mhm.
my foot in the door on a regional command staff level. That was back in '05. So I did that. I was doing that. Just let me backtrack a little bit. As I mentioned, I have a financial background in my back. I retired 3 years ago. I was in finance and accounting, and as I mentioned, I went to Seton Hall University, so I have somewhat of a financial background. And jumping back, as I
Who did you
said,
work
back,
for? Just curious, who did you work for?
a few companies you probably may have heard of. One of the companies was Wakefern Food Corporation.
Okay.
That's the
Mm.
distributorship for ShopRite stores.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For a few years, worked for that. A couple of mostly small companies.
I got you.
Um, generally. The last company was a small privately owned company in the AV business the last 20 years. They recently ceased operations 2 years after I left, which was their plan. But basically, I was pretty relatively small companies between 15 to 30 million dollars. One of the major companies was Rico Corporation. I was with them for about 6 or 7 years or so as well. I was a senior accountant and got promoted into a marketing department, and then was there for a while. And I think it was in '92 I left that and joined another company or so. So that was you may have heard Rico Corporation.
Yeah,
It's an
I think I have
products-
heard of it.
Yeah, so that was
I used to work for Rico.
yeah, you did.
I worked on their copiers.
Yeah. So I was working in corporate general accounting at the time and got moved to another. Not the I forgot. I think it was the department was called Major Accounts, I believe. They handled different copiers and fax machines, and I don't think there's any fax machines around anymore. But there was a couple of different office products or so. So it was there, and then from there I moved to another smaller company as an accounting manager. And then, like I said, up about 20 years ago in June '02, I joined my last company I was with in Clifton. As a matter of fact, there was a small privately owned company called Telemeasurements.
Measurements.
Yeah, so that was about a 12 to $15 million in sales company. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed that, and that's where I retired from. Just like I said, in June '22, I retired from that as corporate controller. But going back to Starfleet,
Sorry.
What?
Didn't mean to distract you there.
No.
Because I work in the banking.
Because I'm mentioning about regional because there's another jump that I did back in '08 because I was a regional financial officer and I was asked to go on a platform of Sal Lizard. Sal Lizard was running for Fleet Admiral in Starfleet back in '08 or prior to '08 and '07 or so, and I was asked to join his platform. He had to have a number of people running for Fleet Admiral within Starfleet. So it's sort of like a corporation, like I wouldn't say a nonprofit corporation where you have a board of directors. They call it executive committee. You've got a board of a group of people that do the legislation, like you have senators in Congress. They have they call the Admiralty Board that makes the laws. So you have an executive committee, and it was the executive committee that was running for office. And that particular slate won the election under Sal Lizard. So I became chief financial officer in January of '08. And I held that position to my full term till end of December 2010. So I was the CFO of Starfleet, which was and that was really nice. I mean, it was like it was like two full-time jobs because I was still working. And then having Starfleet, which was non-paid, everybody's a volunteer in Starfleet, but still you still have a ton of work, and running a mid-sized corporation, books wise. So that was quite challenging. It was I regard as like almost like the three hardest years of my life because I was working straight time on my regular job, and then in the evenings and the weekends working for Starfleet. So it was quite, and also about that time, I still was regional financial officer too, as well. So I had a few things on my plate, a few things going on. It got a little bit easier when after that administration, that term ended back in, in January of 11, January 1st, 2011, then another administration team took over. So I was no longer CFO. And but since then I'm still regional financial officer for Region 7, which I enjoy doing. So I'm still doing that. Since then, also in January, I think it was in '08, I believe. I'm trying to remember. The second commanding officer, Gene Hendricks, became commanding officer, and he tapped me to be his XO. And he left in 2010. I think it was May 2010. I became the commanding officer of the USS Justice. So I've been commanding officer of the USS Justice for the past 15 years.
Oh.
And since then, I've moved up and I have the full rank of admiral now. So
Admiral.
I know. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a really exciting experience and really, really a great time. Done a lot of different things. I mean, had opportunities I wouldn't have had before. Played paintball. I played paintball with William Shatner as highlights. That was great twice. We did an honor guard. Ed arranged to be. I don't know how we did that. Be his honor guard on two separate occasions. You were there, I think, right, George? For his
No,
honor.
I was never at the Shatner game. I remember Mike was they were gonna do a paintball game based on the episode A Piece of the Action, and they had
Yeah,
a dress
we did that.
in
Right,
the
right, right.
same and like the same guard, yeah,
Oh,
and
I got
the
an interesting
same
story
guard.
about that.
And
Right, right.
I remember Mike came to me. I was making stuff in my shop, and he came to me one day, and he goes, "I need my paintball gun to look like
Tommy submachine gun.
a Thompson submachine gun with the with like the snail
About
drum."
right,
And
right.
I was like, okay, how the hell am I gonna pull this off? And I was like, well, I got some uh, aluminum sheet metal, and I basically made a covering for the gun. And
Mhm.
then I made I made the snail drum. I had these. I was gifted these M&Ms for Christmas, and it came in this tin. And I basically stripped all of the paint off of the tin, and I sprayed it all black, and that was the basis for the snail drum. Then I had to make the foregrip. I made the foregrip out of wood, and I made the tail stock out of wood, and I mated it to the gun. And and like my father was helping me because he used to use the Thompson A1 in the war. And he goes, "Oh yeah, the gun has this, and it has this, and it has the breech load, and it's got all this." I said, "Well, it's a paintball gun, but it has to look like this." He goes, "Well, you're doing a really good job," and blah 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 blah. And I'm okay. And
So was he a
but
sergeant? Was he a sergeant?
my my dad was he was many ranks
Yeah.
in the war. He used to get busted down to corporal.
Oh, okay.
He was always like
Yeah.
a sergeant, and then he get busted down to corporal.
Yeah.
Sergeant busted down to corporal.
Oh, okay.
But and then he went from private to corporal to because he did a lot. He was a sheet metal worker before the war, and he worked with my and when he went for basic training, everybody had to put all their stuff in their pack, because they were gonna do like they were gonna do like a 3-day bivouac. So they basically had to run 10 miles, and then they were going to camp out. Well, my father, he was a sheet metal worker. So what he did was he made this sheet metal form that went into his pack, and it looked like he had all of his stuff in it, but he's running with everybody, and everybody's like, they're like passing out, and it was like hot. It was, and he's like going, "You guys can't keep up. What the hell's wrong with you, lady?" Da 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 da. And all of a sudden, the drill sergeant goes, "Okay," and like, "We're gonna camp here for tonight. Take all your stuff out of your pack." And my father's like, "Oh," he goes, "Dare, open up your pack." It opens up the pack, and he got the sheet metal. He goes, "Wow, that's really well done." He's like, "Well, guess what you're gonna do? We're gonna fill it up with sand, and you're gonna run 10 miles back to the base, and then you're gonna run 10 miles back here." So yeah, he was sergeant. He went down. He went, I think they busted him down to corporal, and then he went to sergeant again. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, because usually sergeants are the ones who have the Thompsons.
He was.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
think-
he. I always laugh when I watch A Bridge Too Far, because he was in Operation Market Garden, the joint thing, and there was a saying at the time back here in the States: "Is this trip really necessary?" And it was like, if you if you use gas for like if you wanted to go visit your sister or
Yeah.
wanted to go visit
Yeah.
somebody or your relatives
Because
or
it's
whatever.
rationing, right?
That you're right.
Mhm.
It was the gas rationing. The gas was, with like given, toward the war effort. Well, my father was getting on the plane. He was a sergeant. He was getting on the plane to go jump for Operation Market Garden, and he shouted out, "Is this trip really necessary?" And he was busted. He jumped, got down to the ground, and he busted down the corridor. I was like, "Wow, you just couldn't keep your mouth shut. No, couldn't do
Sounds like my kind of
Like
guy.
father, like son.
Yeah.
I want to talk about
Yeah.
that story about the submachine guns. You made a few of them, and we were there at the paintball field. Now, what was interesting is to get to the field, they had these what was it, like Model T cars that brought us onto the paintball field. So here I am holding onto a gun that George made with it like looked like a Thompson submachine gun. Well, first off, we drove. I forgot where this field was. I think it was in Ohio or something, I believe. I'm
Yeah.
not where the field was. So the field was in Ohio. So here we are driving in our car, and in our trunk we've got 3 or 4 Thompson submachine guns that look like Thompson submachine guns. Thank God we were not pulled over. Could you imagine what would happen? We have guns. I mean, somebody police officer comes over and looks at our trunk, and he sees 3 or 4 what looks like Thompson submachine guns. That would have been a problem. I mean, today we'd still, that would be a major problem. But back in, then it still would have been a problem then too. So here we get to the field, and they got these like Model Ts, and each of us rode a car. Well, we didn't ride. We were riding on the running board. So I'm holding on to the inside of the car with a running board, and my other hand is holding on to the rifle, to the Thompson submachine gun for my life, because the car is going at about 20 to 25 miles an hour from an large open field to the platform where they're going to start the commencement of the paintball game. And Shatner's already there already, so they're escorting. So they're bringing the honor guard to the platform there. So I'm one of 4 other people here holding on to my paintball gun. I don't know who gave me. I think Ed gave me this large cigar. I got his large cigar because we're supposed to look like gangsters or so. And I had this gangster outfit that I'm wearing, and holding on for my life to the car, and my other hand is holding on to the Thompson submachine gun that George built, and it wasn't light either, by the way.
It was very heavy. Yeah.
So I'm holding on to that
I was-
with one arm, and holding on to the inside of the car with my other arm, and I think, I hope I don't frickin' fall off. And this guy's going at about 20, 25 miles an hour when you're holding on to the running board. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
oh my God, is this going to end? Please don't let anything. I'm holding on
Is
to
that
my
trip really necessary?
Yeah, yeah, and I still remember that, holding on to this for my freaking dear life. I mean, nothing happened, thank God. So we got it. I got over there, and that was a really great game, and everybody saw how we were dressed and everything. That was a really great time. There was another game, I think it was either before that or after that. The Civil War reenactment. We did a Civil War reenactment paintball game.
Yeah.
Is that before or after that? I don't.
That I think I think it was before that.
Yeah.
No, wait.
That was in Pennsylvania, I believe. There was one of them was in Pennsylvania.
I think that was after. I think that was
After?
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been after.
So Ed had an officer's hat, a Union officer's hat. So we're dressed in the regular, like a paintball costume, and wearing jeans, and some people had a stripe down their leg or so. Well, Ed had this officer's hat, a Union officer's hat. Well, William Shatner saw this hat, and he goes, "I want that." So he took Ed's hat, and I was joking with Ed. Ed, give me your pants. You got great looking pants with a stripe down. He goes, I'm gonna give you my pants. He's already got my hat. So he was wearing, when he was giving the speech to get everybody to start the game and everything, he's wearing Ed's Union officer's hat. It was really great. It looked like a really great Union officer's hat from the Civil War. It looked really good. And then when we were playing, well, after that commitments was over, he gave the hat back to Ed. Now, when Ed was playing, he was wearing that same hat. So people thought he was Shatner that was leading the group. he was mistaken for because they thought they saw him there and they didn't know that where he got the hat from. I don't know if you know that part of the story or
No.
not. Yeah. So people thought, oh, they shot Ed, but they thought they were shooting Shatner. And he goes, but it wasn't him because that wasn't his hat. He gave it back to Ed. So that was pretty interesting. I mean, I was at both. That was really a
Wow.
lot of
Had no idea William Shatner was a paintball
He was he
enthusiast.
was a great. I'll say for the record, he was a very very great paintball player. He was playing the front lines. I was playing with him and his wife at the time. I don't remember her name, but we were on the front lines together shooting. I mean,
That's amazing.
at one point there was one part of the scenario game. I don't remember if it was the gangster one. I think it was maybe the Civil War game. He led us into combat battle. There's nothing that I still remember to this day. It was nothing like it's like being led into battle by Patton, but you live to tell about it the next day, you know. Except I was like a bit black and blue from the experience all
Oh,
over my
you always
body.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I used to come home. My wife didn't understand this. I'm covered in
Yeah,
black
yeah.
marks over my entire body. You know, I'm like I'm freaking wounded. You know, no
Yeah.
blood, but I got bump. You know, black and blue marks all over my body.
A lot of lumps.
This,
Yep.
and especially the battle with that Shatner led us into. I mean, we got totally wiped out, literally. I mean, but the charge was an exhilarating experience. As a matter of fact, I just saw Shatner about a week or so ago. He was
Right.
at the Hanover.
Ticonderoga?
He was at the Hanover Manor at the Creation Con
Oh,
convention
gotcha.
that was going on there. He was on Sunday. He was there. He was there as well. And for what he's 94 years old, could it be 95? It's
Hey,
amazing. He's still going strong,
Yeah.
talking and taking questions and sharp as hell. It's like unbelievable how this guy keeps doing it, and he does not look like he's 94 whatsoever.
Yeah.
Does not look at whatsoever.
Inspiration, man. He's an inspiration.
He's 25 years older than me, and it's amazing how great he looks and how he reacts and what he's done and what he can still do and doing everything. But yeah, but like I said, being led into paintball combat was an amazing experience that I lived through, and that was part of like in Starfleet being on the ship and being with the crew and everything. That
Yeah,
was
my
great.
dad was my dad actually saw the gun when like when I built it. I said, "Yeah, I had to build this for Mike," and he goes, "This thing's kind of heavy, isn't it?" It's like, "Well, it's got this." He goes, "It has almost about the same weight as the Thompson," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Well,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is a
that wasn't a
paintball
light
gun."
by any means. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember you had the Armson barrel on it.
Yes,
Was it the South African barrel?
it was a
That's the one
rifled
I used
barrel.
to buy.
So it's a rifled
I
barrel.
I used to take that barrel. I had three barrels at the time. I had my silencer one. I had my 16-inch Armson. I had a 14-inch Armson. I used to just bring those to the paintball, like if we play paintball and I was playing with a rental gun. I used to take the rental gun barrel off and put the
Really?
Armson on and play with it. And people were like going, "How are you getting these accurate shots?" Because the Armson was internally rifled for the
Rifled,
ball
right.
and it would make it go straighter, right? And the other ones were like straight bores. And I was
Right.
I was like, "Here's my field barrel. Here's my Armson barrel." They're like, "Oh man, I wish I had." That's a great idea. I used to just do that, and their guns were, were always calibrated to the, to the field. And I was like, okay, gun's calibrated. I don't have to calibrate it. I don't have to keep going back,
Yeah.
and recalibrating.
Yeah, they put a tag on your gun once it's calibrated because you can't have guns shooting at a faster speed than anybody else's. So there was a set limit as to feet per second. I forgot what it was that the guns could
Most
shoot at.
most fields at the time were 225.
Oh, I don't think it was.
I
that.
remember I was playing with a
it was,
gun.
No, I think it was 190.
Was it one? Was it 190?
It was 190. Yeah, now I remember it was 220. No, it was about 190. They wouldn't let
Oh.
them. Yeah, it was calibrated at 190, as I recall. I mean, this was a number of years ago, but I think it wasn't no more than 190 feet per second. Yeah.
I had a gun that was it was calibrated at 150 in the morning, and then by the time I got done, my gun was at 400, and I was like, like, wow, I'm really getting really good consistent shots. And the guy goes, he goes, go, he was, he goes, go to the chronometer, and I'm like firing, and he's like, dude, your gun's at 450. You got to turn that down. I turned it all the way down. I got it down to about like two 210 because I couldn't turn it down anymore. And he was like, well, he goes, okay, we'll certify you for 210 FPS, but the thing that happened was you couldn't shoot anybody 210 FPS, like under 20 feet. So like after 20 feet, you could shoot them. I was like, when they came in your kill zone, I go to fire, and my bolt piece, it goes bing, and I'm like, no, I lost it. And because I fired, and the thing to pull the bolt back, the handle, right, the bolt handle flew out of the gun, and I actually fired. I fired a round, but I fired the bolt as well. I lost the bolt, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm done for the day. This was my only gun. And I was like, okay, I'm done for the day. I took
backup. That's you always have a backup.
Oh man, that is horrible.
I used to have a Splatmaster backup, like the pistol. I pulled out the pistol. The pistol clocked at 380, and I couldn't turn it down. There was no way to turn it down, and it was it was the cartridge, the CO2 cartridge in the handle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the guy goes, the guy at the field goes, well, fire it a couple of times. I said, if I fire it a couple of times, I'm only going to have like 5 shots left. The thing had like 10 shots. So he's going boom, boom, boom. He's going boop, 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 boop with the thing. And you can hear it going boop, boop, boop. And he goes, he goes, 100. Okay, that's good. And then all of a sudden it went from 100 to 20, and then it went to 15. And then I was out, and I was like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. Oh man, yeah, but I remember. I think like when I got onto the Justice, it was we had a premiere for First Contact, and I had to make a Borg costume. I made a Borg costume for Ed, and I made one for myself. But I was working at Computer City, and I got sick, and I got the flu. So I couldn't go into work, but I was still working on the costume for Ed, and I had it done. And he came and he picked it up because he lived in Florham Park at the time. I lived in East Orange, and he came and he picked it up, and he goes, "Are you sure you can't make it?" I'm going, "I can't make it." I mean, I couldn't talk. I had laryngitis, all this other stuff, and my boss is calling me every single day. You have to come in. Everybody's sick in the thing. I was like, well, I'm sick. I'm sorry. I can't come in. And so I missed, I missed the premiere, of First Contact. I don't know if you were there. Were you at First Contact?
I don't remember.
At the Sony Theater in East Hanover.
East Hanover, yes.
And that was like almost 30 years ago now, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was so long ago. That's what we usually do. We do movies as ship events. We go to that. Our last biggest event was this past year. I think it was in beginning of June. We went to the Star Trek.
The set tours in Ticonderoga.
Ticonderoga. Yeah, we were there, and we really got lucky. We had James Coley give us our tour, so we were there. I told him, and it's funny because I met him there. I didn't expect it was a Sunday morning. I didn't expect to see him there, or was it Saturday morning? And he was there. He was there on the weekend, and I really didn't expect to see him. And then I made a joke. I said, "Oh, today's your lucky day." I told him who we are. We're the USS Justice. We're part of Starfleet. This and that. And then he got a call in from one of his people that usually worked there that they were out sick. And then he made the decision to do the tour himself. So he gave us the tour himself there. And what's interesting, he took out a lot. He went behind this glass. I don't know if you've been to the Star Trek tour exhibit there up in Ticonderoga.
Yeah.
No.
You have it's sort of like a mini museum there. So he went he went behind the glass doors, pulled out the props that were there, One of the props was a phaser. This one of the phasers that they used on the set. The phaser alone, one of the props there, worth $5 million.
Wow.
You got a $5 million worth phaser and let each of us hold it over a table or so. So we're each holding a prop that's worth $5 million. That
Wow.
was everything there he owned. So he said, well, since I own everything, I can do whatever I want, which he did. And he knew where we were, and we were the ultimate fans. And so he let us each hold a $5 million prop that was used on the set during the original series. So that was really amazing. And then he gave us the tour, and he gave us a lot. It was longer tour than what's mostly done because he gave us a lot more information. But that was that was probably one of the best things that our ship has done, away mission wise, that we've done or so. That was really quite exciting to go up to Ticonderoga, see that, and have a tour done by James Cawley. We're thinking we're so lucky to have that done for us. It was really amazing.
They didn't have the Galileo up there, did they, at that time?
No, that's coming. That's going to be that's coming. Not yet.
It's not there yet. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think they're going to. That's in the works, and I think they're going to make a separate area for that. But not sure where that's going to be located.
Yeah, I was wondering where they would put it myself.
Well, they're looking to secure a building or two. That's being worked on right now as we
Yeah.
where to locate that. I mean, ideally, it would be in a nearby building to where they are.
Yeah. Certainly not sitting in the parking lot or whatever.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. It's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
indoors. I mean, really, it should be in Smithsonian is where it should be.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it should be one of the centerpieces in Smithsonian, Washington D.C. for generations to see. That's where it should be.
Yeah,
it
maybe
should
it'll
be,
end up there eventually. Who knows?
yeah, it's possible. It's possible. For a while, I was at the Johnson Space Center, and
Yeah.
that didn't work out down there whatsoever. I don't know if you know the original story of the Galileo. Before originally it was discarded as garbage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
somebody got a hold of it, paid for it, got it, had it refurbished, spent a ton of money refurbishing it from a shipbuilding company. Got a shipbuilding company and spent a lot of money rebuilding this whole thing and restored it to its original detail that you saw on the show. And then there was that was a regional event. I forgot what that was back a number of years ago, and that was a regional event. There was we were there part of the launching of the Galileo, and then it got shipped down to Texas or so. And the current director there was not a Star Trek fan, and just let it sit out there. And I don't know, it didn't work out. And finally, it got moved up to I think it's in Ticonderoga now, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so it's under storage, and they're looking at as far as where to finally place it and build an appropriate area for it.
Yeah, well,
There's a lot of
one
empty
the-
buildings in that town. I know that. So
Yeah,
at least
well,
last when I was there.
yeah.
One of the suggestions that I had made for the Galileo, because I talked to Mark Myers, who usually goes up to Ticonderoga a lot. We've had him here on the show.
Yeah,
Mark, that he knows James Cawley, so I said, wouldn't it be really cool if they, created the shuttlecraft hangar
yeah.
and then just had the shuttlecraft on the turntable, and he goes, I think they're looking into that. They want to
we
do
asked
that,
that,
but they
yeah,
don't
we mentioned-
really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mucho
Mucho De Niro for something like that, though. I got to say,
Yeah.
maybe
Well, that-
even more than James has.
Yeah. Well, it's something that's possible. You never know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's possible. Yeah.
It's right. Look at what he's done so far. It's amazing
Yeah,
that he's
true.
that original set tour up there. It's like better than exactly to the detail, exactly what you saw on TV. I mean,
Yeah,
to
it's
be part
that's a
of it,
surreal experience. I
Oh.
got to say.
especially when you're on the bridge or so. It's like really. It's
Yeah.
really amazing to be there, to sit in a chair and everything, visually works. You have controls. You're at the helm station, and this device comes out of the helm the way you saw it on TOS.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. I had a great time there.
I remember in 2013, I think Star Trek Into Darkness was coming out,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
the crazy person to my left actually financed me to build the original Captain Kirk chair.
Right.
And I was like, how in the hell am I gonna build this thing? Like, like, can you build this? And I was like,
Can you build?
yeah, I think I can. I'm not really sure. And I was like, I need some plans. So what I was doing was I was taking like stills from the, because I was getting on the internet and getting stills and looking at like, captures and stuff like that and
Yeah.
trying to figure out, angles. I figured out basically the angle, but I couldn't figure out the measurements. And I was like,
I thought you
I
got the
didn't have
blueprint.
measurements.
Didn't you get
So what?
the blueprints eventually? Didn't you get the blueprints of the way the
I took the, well, I took the blueprints from the technical manual, but the
Yeah.
ones from the technical manual are not right. They're
Yeah,
not
that's
this.
what I thought.
They're not the same. Like, because they were in centimeters and had to convert centimeters to inches, but you lost like a little bit in the translation. So I had a friend in Canada. His name is Carl Mazur, and Carl and I were friends on Facebook. I said, "Hey, by the way, you do a lot of Star Trek props." I said, "Do you have plans to the Kirk chair?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, here." And he sends me this PDF, and it was all the plans, all the measurements. I've since lost them, of course, and I have to go get them back from him. Maybe he's still around, but I got the plans and I'm looking at them. I'm like, okay. Oh, I'm like, oh, this is okay. And I'm like, okay, now I have a basis. And then I told Mike, I said, I think I can make the Kirk chair for you. And he goes, okay, I'm gonna give you my credit card, and I need you to basically give me all the receipts. All the thing. I built the chair for $750. I remember. It was 700 about 758, or 750, bucks.
yeah?
And I remember I didn't have the exact paint scheme because the chair looks like it's white on screen, but it's not.
It's not white.
It's called Gravity Gray, and Gravity Gray you can get at Lowe's. It's a paint. And I found this out when I worked at Steve Neal's, because Steve Neal's built his own chair. He got the plan. He got the plans from Matt Jeffries, the guy who did like the Jeffries tube and all this other stuff
Oh,
for all the
that's-
sets.
the
He
man,
got the
yeah.
plans from him, and I was like,
Wow. I never knew
well,
he
of
met
course.
Matt Jeffries.
What?
He actually knew Matt Jeffries?
Yeah, he knew Matt
Wow.
Jeffries.
That's amazing.
And he got the plan. He's like going, here, Steve, here. He goes, here's the plans for the chair. I was like, wow, if I had these when I built the chair. And Steve goes, you built your own chair? He goes, when did you build? I said, I built in 2013. I was at his shop in 2017. I sat in Steve's chair. Steve's chair is, is amazing.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
plans-
I sat in that chair too.
I'm
The
sorry.
plans weren't the same plans. They weren't dimension-wise the same type of plans that you got from your
In the
shop?
the ones that I got were somebody had taken measurements from the original chair on set,
Okay.
and when I compared the plans I got from Carl to the plans that were in the technical manual, they were off by some dimensions were off by half an inch, some dimensions were off by an inch, and I was like, okay, so I had to find the happy medium between the two, and I was like, okay, well, let's see with this. And then I was looking, because everything on the chair that I did was handmade. I didn't have, like, I could mold stuff at the time, but a lot of the stuff were like aircraft, instrumentation, because Gene Roddenberry was an airline pilot, and a lot. If you look at a lot of the switches and dials and lights on the Enterprise bridge, they are from aircraft. They're like from 727s and 747s, stuff like that. And so the chair is no different except for the intercom. So I had the intercom, I got that, and I get all these other things, and then it was funny. I'm putting the whole thing together, and I'm like, okay, I got the chair, and I'm sitting in the chair, and I'm like, this is really cool. And all of a sudden, I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I have to get this through the door of the shop. Does it fit? And I'm measuring the channel I'm like, oh, it's not gonna fit. So I took the chair portion out. The actual chair was actually, like an office chair that my friend threw away, and I took I took like the console thing with all the controls. I basically maneuvered it out, and then I maneuvered out, the platform and a chair. I put the last screw in it before it came, before my friend Scott came with his truck, and he goes, are you ready? I said, I'm almost ready. I went, Zzz! I was like, it's done. And I took it, I put it on the thing, and I brought it there. But I actually put Formica on mine, and that added another 80 pounds to the chair. So the chair weighed I think it was like 40 pounds. So it was about 120 pounds. I think that chair, was.
Yeah. So
And
we got the chair there, and at the movie theater, you've got the chair at the movie theater, and we had a lot of people taking pictures in the chair. We offered to take pictures, and we said, okay, we'll send you a JPEG of you in the chair. And we were also we did a raffle or something. We did a raffle and said, okay, put your name in with your cell phone and your address, or I think it was your email, your cell phone, and we did a raffle drawing, and somebody won the chair, and they said, okay, come to the movie theater, pick it up. They had to come pick it up. So they, it was somebody that, I made sure, obviously people on the ship wanted it too. I said, well, we're not eligible. We're opening this to the public. I'm not going to have one of the crew members, that wouldn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
it was somebody who came to the movie event, saw the chair and submitted it, and then they won it. So it's probably sitting in somebody's house right now. Maybe watching this video, possibly, you never know. With their chair, goes, oh yeah, is that the story? That's the same chair that I won in a movie theater. I think it's not like the Cinemark. It was in Parsippany.
Yeah.
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 The
So
Parsippany
that
one.
was
Yeah.
that was another event that we did. We were in uniform, and so that was that particular event was pretty good. We did another event at that same movie theater, and it didn't go so well because there was a lot less people attending. I forgot which movie that was, and the turnout in that, I guess, the location wise wasn't that great. It didn't work out that well. But
Yeah.
the first one I think was in 2013, and yeah.
I still have those pictures from the movie theater. The background were all like these bubblegum, bowl machines, like gumball machines in the background. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, we did that back then, and
So, where can people? We have. I'm at 254.
minutes.
We have like 6 more minutes. Where can people find you?
okay. Well,
How can people?
My email address is justiceoc@aol.com.
You have a
we-
Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
They can find you on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, justiceoc@aol.com. I also briefly want to mention we're also co-hosting, running a Region 7 regional conference, which we're open to the public at. If they go to, let's see, I have a website here for a regional conference. If they go to region7.sfi.org, they'll find it there as well. So it's region7.sfi.org. They'll also find me there too as well on that site. That's the regional chapter list. They'll find me there as listed as the commanding officer of the USS Justice. And again, my email address is justiceoc@aol.com.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, we have a couple. We have like 4 minutes left. I know James wanted to show us something. What? You're muted. I'm sorry.
yeah, you're muted.
You're still muted.
Still muted. You're still muted.
There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
there you
Yeah,
go.
we'll save it. We'll save it for next week. I got.
Well, next week I will not.
Oh, that's right. You're not here, so do follow.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not here next week. I will be at the Battlestar Galactica event at the Hanover Marriott.
What
Yeah.
day are you going to be there? I'm going to be there as well, George.
I'm gonna be there on Saturday. I have to go
okay.
meet. I have to meet some friends there. I was actually gonna go meet Mike and Clay at Old Shabine if they're gonna be there, and then my friend Ray Lejoie is gonna be there. He said he had something for me. I think he has a 3D printer for me, so I might get a 3D
yeah?
printer.
Which one?
Oh.
What kind?
Cool.
It was one of his first that I think he bought in 2013.
Like reality. I'm willing to bet.
No,
No,
it's not reality. It was as the one that he started was in his office. It was made out of the plywood, like the laser cut plywood,
Oh, okay.
and it was all
Okay.
put together. It was
Okay.
Maybe a
it
rip
was
wrap
like-
or something. Rip
it was like an
wrap
off. It was like a it was like a China special, but it was yeah. It's a really really old printer. And he's like going, I'm getting rid of it. I said, so which one are you gonna get? He got I think he got the what's it called? It's the Cobra. Is that is that
the
Creality?
Anycubic
Okay.
Cobra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anycubic Cobra?
Sorry.
Cobra
yeah,
2?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Or Cobra.
Yeah, it's
rather,
that
yeah.
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I've
The
got
Cobra.
two of those. I got 2 of those. So that's
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I might be getting into the,
Well, I know that printer
the 3D
inside and out,
printing
man.
phase.
So I'm,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right, cool. Then I'll yeah. Yeah, it's got a self-leveling bed and all this other stuff. The other
Most
one
of the time.
actually most of the time. Most of the
To
time.
self-level-ish.
Yeah. When it wants to.
The AI kind of it's the AI. It's like automatic. It with it it's artificial-ish.
Yeah.
The ish. See, the I is the ish,
Mhm.
so it's artificial-ish. I saw that you made. I see that UFO in the background. Where is it?
Yeah. I guess I could show that real quick. Yeah,
You could
that's
show that one real quick if you.
actually I got a couple of them. This one.
That's the-
over here. It's
That's the
this is
one-
from-
yeah, I
I'm a big
remember that.
I'm a big Godzilla fan, and this variations of the same thing, but these were the what they called the Keelak alien saucers from Destroy All Monsters.
Destroy all. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool,
And,
cool.
I've always liked them. So I've been working on this every year. So I got like in different scales and things like that. This one, sort of like I decided to make this one hollow, and I don't know if you can really see the effect, but how like they're rechargeable. So let me just turn this light off. I'm sorry, it's too bright in here, but this actually lights up.
Yeah.
And you probably saw those pictures online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they like a pulsating? It's like a pulsating light, or
No, I gotta.
Or
I
it's
gotta
like a step-up
Yeah, I
light?
gotta rewire this. It's just like one of these little $5 ring lights.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I meant was it? I meant the effect in the movie. It's
Yeah.
It's
I'm
kind of like a
gonna do that on
pulsating.
this too. I just
Yeah,
have to. I just have to create like a little 555.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Pulsing, yeah. 555
Or-
based.
Or you can ask Ralph. At 10.
Yeah. That would be. But this one is just like a probably more like I would probably think like a studio scale. But this
Oh,
one
that's
doesn't
cool.
like it's just painted up. So
If you
So-
if you wanted to send me one, I can cast it, and I can cast it in like an amber, like clear
Yeah.
resin.
well, and if you want to, I can send you all this stuff. If you wanted to cast it, and then you can go online and just and make these as kits, and you can just sell them. And because I'm sure there'd be plenty of people that want to buy one.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
those Godzilla nuts are as crazy as the Star Trek nuts, So
I
Yeah,
had
that is true.
something For,
Yeah.
Sorry, I had something for show and tell. Hold on a sec.
I'll save my other thing, that my pièce de résistance for whenever we do the show again. So
James,
that's pretty
there's
busy
another,
lately.
I had
What's
another, I have another website that people are interested, they can go to, ussjustice.org. So if people want to have more information about our chapter and everything else, if they go to ussjustice.org, that's another website that people can check out. It should be out there.
Oh, I had talked to Gary Hughes, and he referred me to Don Coleman in California, and I got one of the Commander, the Commando Cody helmets.
Yeah. The
So
Kentucky
this
Fried
is
Chicken
the-
bucket, right?
Yeah, this is the
Wow.
unfinished version. He was getting rid of these.
Yeah.
Getting rid of them like for $75. So I got the whole helmet for
Wow,
$75.
that's pretty cool.
And,
I remember Halloween one year. I got a Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was when I was a kid because they were running those cereals on,
yeah.
and I got a KFC bucket and just kind of cut it out and put. Like,
Yeah.
it worked pretty well.
So yeah, Don actually has the the jetpack. He has the jetpack mole. He's selling the moles, so if you want to buy the moles, you can. But and I was asking him about the jetpack mold for Commander Cody. He said it does have provenance, and I was like, what does that mean? He goes, well, it was featured in the Star Trek Voyager episode where Mistress Chaotica or whatever, so she plays one of the villains, in the serial, and it's done in all black and white on the holodeck, which is really cool. But that pack is actually his, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So there's a little
Very
bit of
cool.
a Star Trek thing there. So did you get anything for your birthday, or?
Oh, not yet. No, I got plenty of things. I buy myself presents over the course of the years, so I don't get any on my birthday. So,
Okay.
but, I'm
Are
at
you
the dinner
gonna
tonight. That's good enough.
are you gonna be at the Battlestar Galactica thing next
No,
week?
no.
or
I really like Battlestar Galactica, but I tend to not go to the sort of like very specific sort of unless I used to go like to G-Con, Godzilla Con, but there's something about when you're around people that are all into the exact same thing. I don't know. It kind of it doesn't quite work for me for some reason. I don't know why, but when it's that specific, I like things more general. I think it's great.
Oh, okay.
I'm not dissing it or anything like that. So
No, I wasn't really gonna go for the Battlestar Galactica convention. I was just gonna go see Mike because I haven't seen Mike in 30 years. No, I haven't seen. I've seen him on Zoom, but I really haven't seen him
We were
in
supposed to
person.
get together, and then there was a storm and some bridge got swept away. Remember that?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
took them a year, I don't know, 6 months for them to rebuild the bridge, and then you couldn't go for other reasons and family issues
Yeah.
or something. And
Yeah.
so we were supposed to get together, and then
Yeah.
But hopefully next Saturday we can get together or so. Hopefully. And,
I'm supposed to get like supposed to get together with you and like my friend Ray. I haven't seen Ray in a while, so.
yeah.
And then we get to eat at the Old Shabine if there's actually going to be a table. We'll find
Yeah,
out.
I was
Where's this
there.
thing at? Where's it at?
I was there.
What?
I was
Where's
there.
this Battlestar Galactica thing here?
It's at the Hanover Marriott.
Ripley.
It's on Route 10.
Yes.
Okay.
It's across street from where the Hilton is. It's on the other side.
Okay.
Yes. What's the highway?
Route 10.
Right.
Be Route 10 going east. It's eastbound.
The venue is the smallest one I've ever been to in a creation con. I don't know if I should say that to everybody, but it did seem quite small to what I've been to with creation conventions, venue-wise. I was a little bit surprised about that.
I was trying to get them to get Eric Chu to go because I still owe Eric $100. Yes, Eric, I still owe you $100, and I have to get you $100. but James was the one who came through for the thing snow globe when you made the thing snow globe
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, and and he sent me money. I had to send him back the money. I was like going, ooh, if Eric is going to be there at the Battlestar Galactica thing, I can give him $100. And he was like, no, they, like they didn't invite me. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
So,
No comment.
so we are at I have 307. I'm very sorry we went over. Friendly Differences is on GCPR right now, so hopefully we're off of the radio and we have Lisa getting on, or we have Solid Blue Sister is gonna be getting on. So this has been Model Citizen. Thank you so much for being on, Mike, and talking about the Star Trek club. You if you have an event you want to get on again or whatever, just feel free to hit me up. Say, hey, George, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. If there's certain things you want to talk about, because we are on a Battlestar Galactica ship. Together we are on like Battlestar. We're in a Battlestar Galactica club as well.
The Colonial Ministry of Defense, as a matter of fact. And as a matter of fact, I've got now have the rank of colonel, and I'm third in command. I'm officer of the deck, so I have moved up.
And I'm swabbing the deck. Yes. I'm the guy who cleans the deck. So
yeah. So the USS
Battlestar
Galactic Guardian, I believe. Yes, the Guardian.
Right. It's Battlestar Guardian. So
Battlestar
I mean,
Guardian.
like you can come back. We could talk about that.
Okay.
In detail if you want to. So I just want to thank our sponsors, Tenet Controls at tenetcontrols.com, and AAA Hobbies in Magnolia, New Jersey. Their website to buy models from, if you can't get to their store in Magnolia, New Jersey, they do have a website called megahobby.com. I also want to thank my two greatest hosts who put up with me and all my bull stuff there, Printmaster James and the angry IT nerd Gilbert Floyd. I want to thank you so much. And this has been Model Citizen. Next week I will not be here, much to the enjoyment of both of my co-hosts. We got a free Saturday. It's going to be great. George is not going to be here. No, but I will be at the Battlestar Galactica Con. The 27th, we have a tentative guest, Augie Gonzalez from Interstellar Modeler.
Okay.
So if you've never heard of Augie, he's actually an optometrist.
Oh yeah.
By trade, but he makes fantastic models. He's been doing all the old time models and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking to him, and thank you so much, Mike, for being on. And it is the USS Justice, NCC 556-A.
Hey, yes.
You add the A for awesome. The A is for awesome. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on, and we hope to see you very soon.
Very good. Thank you.
And
have
that
fun,
is
have fun next week.
Yeah, we'll try.